I guess we're on. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Wasatch High School. This is the inaugural first home match and match of the 2024 boys volleyball season in the state of Utah. And for Wasatch High School, their first game as their varsity team. And they are hosting the Alta Hawks in this inaugural night. I'm Brent Martindale here with Ken Purdy. And Ken, it's kind of a momentous night.
Man, yeah. You know, I remember when football started off in the new stadium and the first touchdown, we kept the ball. So what do we do here? First spike, or first kill, first dig. We keep it, hopefully get our first win. But yeah, this is exciting, and there's a pretty good turnout here. A lot of parents. I would assume once they see how high these guys fly, and kick the ball around, you'll get some more students come and watch it because what a fun sport.
You know, there is a history of volleyball here at Wasatch. In fact, right above us are the banners for basketball.
Okay.
The boys basketball team that won state in 2003 and 2004. You remember some names, Magnuson boys?
Absolutely.
They were volleyball players, and there was a club team. Lonnie Magnuson told me that there was a boys volleyball team at that time for several years, and those Magnuson boys were there were several of those guys that played on that basketball team.
Yeah.
On those state championship teams that played volleyball,
and those Magnuson boys not only played basketball, they played football too.
Right.
So to add that in the repertoire, and I'm gonna add in, this is a personal note. I wish we would have had volleyball when I was in high school. I would have loved to learn how this, and I'm so awkward now when I play with my daughter. But this is your world, Brent.
And then for a lot of years there wasn't a team, but then in 2015, the spring of 15 is when we started the Wasatch club here.
Your son was kind of a plank owner. That's an old Navy term that when you start a ship or you start something. So he was kind of a plank owner there, and I remember your son was very good at volleyball.
That team, we had a lot of fun for 3 different years, and in fact we had the first. So at that time, of course, there weren't a lot of teams, but it was growing, and there was a state tournament that they even had, and some teams came from St. George and from up north, and it was that way. But now you are talking about a big, monstrous.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire Region 7
unbelievable
lineup has boys volleyball this year, and so
and I really believe the more people get to see this thing, and whatever venue you use, whether you come here live or you look on, this is an exciting sport. And these kids, look at these kids. Look how athletic these kids are and excited on both sides.
Well, I did that for a few years and then handed it off to Duke Mossman, who has really taken this program and started it from the seeds, and they did it, and now they're doing it. And Duke has played a big part in the state board that went to have the sport justified and registered and made a varsity sport. He was a big part of. He was on the board.
And speaking of a plank owner, you started this, but you were also the head women's volleyball coach, and so it's tough to do them both. And so Duke took the baton.
Well, his boy was actually played with us my last year as an 8th grader.
Yeah, he played on Kendall's club teams when he was younger.
Right, that's right.
We used to have a blast with him, just athletic.
And then he went through 4 years and played, and now he's graduated.
Great kids too, as is your son.
But here we go. This is
kicking it off.
First serve of the season, and a much waited for and longed for season, and we're going to go off, and we'll be able to.
And you'll just see who just sent that back over the net for Wasatch was basketball star J.J. Sear, at number 35. Still with I talked to his dad before the game, and I'm like, how does he play with a bad knee? He goes, it's a hip, Ken.
It's a hip problem,
and he goes, yeah, it'll just heal itself. I go, yeah, if he stops playing. But you see the athleticism out here.
Well, and what you just saw a minute ago, the first swing by Chase Billiter. He's one of their top outsides, along with J.J. Sari is, and it looks like they have J.J. playing as an opposite, and we'll talk about what that means in a little bit, but that means he's the opposite of the There's Billiter with a big jump serve. Returned by Alta, but they are going to call Alta under the net.
Okay.
So there's just like that.
And if you're a novice, you're really lucky to get to listen to a game called by Brent Martindale, because he has just got several years at the college and high school level, and you had a pretty good daughter. She was okay.
Well, you know,
went to BYU for a couple of years and just killed it. So he knows his volleyball. You guys the viewers are lucky. And that's a kill.
That's a big swing. That is going to be the first one we see by Yi Kang Lee, and I found out a little bit about him,
as you always do.
And he is a junior, and so he obviously is a well-experienced player. As many of these, we saw
what a great!
That is a save by head coach Mike Wilton's son.
Wow,
who is the libero. That's Declan.
Yeah, was that
Wilton, and he's the libero, and
unbelievable. That was. I mean, so the athleticism here, guys. Like, there's one thing diving on a football field for a catch, but you diving on the floor, and JJ just put it. Oh, and it's Doug.
Yeah, big hammer by Sarius Doug. I think the dig, we're going to give the credit to that to Jamison Biggs.
Boy, that was awesome.
And that was a rocket. And that's what you're going to see here with these guys. A little different game than the girls. Right. I mean, obviously a little bit, but right there is what you see.
Well, it's a little faster and a little harder, right?
Girls
you know,
games,
what I mean, things are
longer
coming
rallies.
Down. But this is such a fast-paced game, and they got it out though. You know, when you watch BYU, man,
it was tipped out of bounds, and so that's sorry, Ken.
I remember going to a football clinic, and we were in the volleyball field house, and I watched the men serve, and Brent, they'll take your head off. That serve comes so quick. So these gents are athletic.
Well, many of the international. And that's going to be touched. That's an ace. Declan Wilton. And we'll talk a little bit about the new head coach, Mike Wilton, here in a little bit. Ken, we talked earlier, but Declan is a junior. Mike was telling me when we were talking this week, he's kind of sad. His son is actually going to graduate early, so this will be the only chance we get to see Declan. And there's a big dig by Wasatch's Brady Hume. And that's going to be a point for Wasatch.
Now why was that?
What that sign is that means somebody from the back row attacked and jumped over or beyond in front of the 3-meter line. So the 3-meter line is that line that's
I see it.
The lines here at Wasatch aren't really defined great.
Another ace.
Another ace. Declan Wilton.
Listen, if Declan would have got bailed out by their back row gentleman, you know, who picked that would have been out the first time, but now you've dialed him in, and he's on a tear right now.
The lead is 6-4 for Wasatch. Declan is a lefty, a southpaw, and that one it did go out that time.
Big jump serve.
We're going to try to continue to introduce these players to you. Alta, we watched the JV game earlier, and it was a big battle. Wasatch ended up winning that in 4 sets. Wow. But it was a battle, and actually set 4 wasn't as much.
And you could not hear yourself think when they were cheering in here, too, by the way. This is a loud gym.
The pass is up, a beautiful pass, and there's a quick attack in the middle, and that's Doug. It'll be a free ball opportunity. Wasatch with the opportunity set back to JJ Sari.
JJ put it down.
JJ with the kill. That'll be his first kill, his second or third swing, but we're going to keep tabs on that.
And we're going to get to know these people, but who is our setter here? If you want to, do you know that yet, Brent?
So the setters are, I'm guessing at this point, and I saw him play a little bit earlier, but I think there's 2. So they're going to do a 6-2, I believe. And the player that just came in to serve, and that is dug up. And he also, unfortunately, the Alta player that dug it went under the net. So that'll be a point. So you have Paxton Prince is serving right now. I believe they're going to be doing a little 6-2 is what they're doing. That's 2 setters. And the other one was Brady Hume. He now goes to the front row, and he will actually be, he is setting. So I take that all back. It's a 5-1 setting roundup here. Braxton Hume is the all-time setter.
Braxton Raven just put that down.
Yeah, that's we need to get to know these players a little bit. So the other outside, so So we talked about the opposite.
Yes, sir.
So JJ came off when Hume went to the front row, and so he's now a front row setter. That means they have 2 hitters, and that's going to be probably called again, that's the back row setter. That's that same sign. So Alta is going to call timeout, down 5-10, and that's
So then I think your viewers you're going to get a little bit more of the technical game from Brent. You're going to get the fan side from me, and I'm telling you, Daxton Eggerts, he has some hops.
Yeah,
he was playing the middle there, and he went up 2 or 3 times. These kids are incredible athletes.
You're talking about guys that are. I mean, looking at their roster, you've got 6'4", 6'4", 6'6", 6'4", 6'6". So that's a pretty good height size. Bigger than our basketball team was.
Exactly. And I don't see that size on that starting lineup. Now, of course, they're going to rotate some more boys in for Alta, but I didn't see the size advantage over there. The size advantage is definitely towards Wasatch right now.
The Alta team that we mentioned a minute ago, the Alta Hawks, I want to say when in club ball for the last, 9 years ago when we started, Alta didn't have a team, and I think they're going to be considered one of the newer teams that are developed, and you're going to see that a lot. There's going to be some powerhouses. Pleasant Grove, Riverton have all been around for a lot of years, played club ball. There's a big swing. Yeah, that's a big swing that time by 16. That's Caleb Puikkonen. And I'm really curious to know if he is related to Nina Puikkonen, who was a player at BYU, an All-American at BYU.
Very good chance.
And you don't see that name very often. So I'm curious to talk with the coaches. I didn't get a chance to do it before the game. And there's a little miscommunication that time.
And I'm going to ask for your
Wasatch.
help on pronunciation from number 35 again, because this kid's got some skills. If you watch him just serve.
Yikeng Lee.
This guy has played some volleyball.
He's obviously played some.
And started at a very young age because he is very talented.
Lee is listed as a junior. And we just jinxed him right there, unfortunately. Sorry.
We always do that.
By the way, we welcome any Alta Hawk fans that might be listening to Sting TV. We thank you for joining us. And we try our best to make this as, both teams equal as much as we can.
Right.
We are Wasps.
We do. We are little homers once in a while, but we'll give credit where credit is due.
Back to serve for Alta is Coleman Fisher. He's one of the seniors on this team. We talked earlier about the game that passes. There's an advantage right there of the front row setter.
Yep.
And he's able to attack if he's front row. So
he's kind of looking around like, wow, that was easy. I don't usually get up that high.
It's often like that with setters. Setters sometimes are the smaller ones, not always the smallest. And of course nowadays that changes a lot. There's the girls' game and the boys' game.
But I think they're really trained to see the court real well, because they're trying to set where they're not. Their defense is not. So I think sometimes that's I used to remember Aspen Hoffman would have that little. She'd go to set it, but she'd knock it over because she saw the court so well.
Yeah. That's a block that time by Billiter, and the middle it's playing right now, Jake Anderton. And Anderton is a senior. Billiter's actually only a sophomore. So now here's a back row attack, and that's what you'll see a lot.
Oh, I thought we got a hand on that one. It was going to go that other way.
Lee knocks it out of bounds from the back row. Wasatch up 14-8 here in the first set.
Jake Anderton, 6'4". That's a big kid.
Back to serve is Eggerts for Wasatch. Again, Wasatch is going to get another free ball opportunity. And the set in the middle. That's to Anderton.
Anderton puts it down. He used all 6'4" of him got up and knocked that down.
Anderson, at least a couple of kills in this match so far, and that's a big 15-8 lead for Wasatch.
Anderson was on the varsity basketball team, so he has got some skills.
As we get to know many of these athletes, we'll find out, of course, that they are multiple sport athletes at this point, which is always advantageous, and but it's also really hard.
Right, it's
very
a tough
difficult.
sport. Yeah, this is something we talked about it before. Is I love it so much, but I'll play with my daughter or play on a team, and man, I am I am far behind in technique. So this is not something you just pick up in a whim. You got to work at it, but such a fun sport to watch.
There's been a yellow card warning given to Wasatch, and I believe it's because Declan Wilton was they got to change they have to put a shirt on the line judge. So sometimes the younger players play, but they can't have a uniform on. They got to put on something to cover up so they don't look like one of the other players.
That makes sense.
But the yellow card was actually given because Declan actually went in on the court behind the baseline, and so volleyball referees are really picky that way.
And the subtleties in this game are just, outside of just the hitting and the athleticism is you got to know your rules.
That time Anderton is blocked. We're going to give the credit to that one to Noah Hannon Jr. Maybe it was Hannon, maybe it was Latimer. Either case, that is a block, and Alta gaining some ground here. Pass up by Wasatch, the serving, and there's another block.
What a great block.
That time it is Jamison Biggs. So you talk about 2 blocks in a row.
And Chase Billiter just got up on that too and put the hammer on it. That was a great block. It was a great kill attempt.
I don't think you see that too often on Billiter. He is like you say, a high-flying. And there's an ace.
It always surprised me. Those that barely hit the net and get over, which is legal, by the way, man, it makes you pause for a second. 15-12.
This rotation for Alta with Puikkonen serving easily has been their best rotation so far tonight. Yeah, Puikkonen definitely looks like he knows what he's doing.
It does.
Billiter gets a little cross-court shot.
I think that would have been out if he let it go.
And there's Lee one more time for the back row. This time it's blocked by Billiter.
He gives it back.
Billiter and Anderton together with the big block.
J.J. Sear coming back in.
Checking out is Paxton Prince. He came in now. This is where you see the setter has now gone off the front row. He's now serving. That's Brody Hume.
Now, will he rotate out, Brent, when he's done?
Nope. So he now will stay on. And, again, they aren't the libero subs.
Okay.
That'll be usually the middles.
Right. Okay. Makes sense.
Usually. But and that's a swing into the net. So another point for Wasatch. Up 17-12. Here early on, Humes with a great float serve.
And great job.
That is called sometimes it depends on how they do it. If they do it with 2 hands, they call it a block.
Okay.
But if he were to take a swing, they would actually call it.
So he doesn't get a kill. That's interesting.
And I'm not sure what the stat rules are now. I'm not sure.
It is etiquette, right? I mean, it's the way they started it back then, and you're going to keep it that way. And I kind of, at first, as a fan, it baffles you a little bit. But once you get watching the sport, like everybody has their etiquette. Football does, basketball, every sport has their little bit. Golf, you're not supposed to step right around the hole to pick your ball up because you're going to make a divot and it's easier to go in, which I think would thank you for the ex-golfer. But this is one of those games where sometimes you step back and you go, what just happened there? I mean,
So far, we're watching Wasatch dominating just a little bit here in this first set. Alta Hawks looking, they're most definitely athletic, and they look like they have some experienced players, and so I don't expect this to be a blowout in any sense tonight. Back to serve. Out of the timeout is Hume, and he's going to serve out of bounds. One of the cardinal sins of missing serves.
Spoken like a true coach.
And there used to be 6, and now there's probably 7 or 8, but the cardinal sins, one of them is when the other team calls a timeout, you don't come out and serve
Is that like kind of shooting an air ball for a free throw type thing?
Well, it's probably along the lines of don't save a free ball under the other team's basket.
There you go. Okay.
I resonate. It's probably
with that.
more like that, and it's like coming out of the timeout. The other team called the timeout. They must have been hurting. So if we come and serve it out to them, that means we just got them out of their problems for a minute. So tough float serve. That's going to be Set up, and there's J.J. Sari. He's going to get the kill.
Work. And again, that net ball just changes the trajectory a little bit.
Yep.
Everybody's getting up to jump at it, and then boom, it moves another way, and so it's always tough to handle. And I'm sure nobody practices that, right, to hit it right into the net
No.
to go over.
No, although I have seen some teams, Builder of the big jump serve, it goes out. I was watching Builder in practice with that. Boy, he was getting them in 9 out of 10 times.
Well, it's that adrenaline when you get back there. The whole gym stops and watches you. And
Yep. Alta down 15-19. Their lead, they were down 1 point. There's an overpass kill. So
and sometimes I hear it called a free ball, right? You know, you get it up there, and that is just a free ball for those guys to hammer back at you if you put it at that easy.
So that's Coleman Fisher with the big overpass kill that time. We'll watch a little bit. Sari pounds it, but it goes out of bounds. Boy, it did. Yeah, I was going to say there.
No, got someone's hand.
Well, and what they're calling is one of the Alta players in the net.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay, so it wasn't a hand.
And I did notice the net moving a little bit, but you never know. So
and he went cross court. You know, that's something that you talk about.
Like that.
Going that opposite side or going the same side but down along the line.
Yes.
I've learned a little bit.
Wasatch did. Oh, I was about to say Wasatch had a lot of points the last time, but Ken, you said it. He served. Looked like it was going to go out of bounds his first time, and they bailed him out. But.
Right. Well, Declan just followed suit from his last first serve, and just a little bit of nerves tonight. I mean, it's new for them, and they were sky high when this thing started. The energy in this building was crazy.
And there's a serve in the net.
Got a net.
Head coach for Alta Hawks is Casey Mayakawa, and she was not very happy that serve went in the net.
I see the cards on the ground there.
Really an opportunity. I mean, the lead was 8, and they're down to 3, and that is not the time to miss a serve. Not one of those cardinal sins, but close. Big, quick attack, and that is dug.
And great
and
dig
kept
there.
alive by Alta. Wow, that was a rocket. Free ball opportunity for Wasatch. Set a little tight, and Raven had to put it over. Ball is kept alive. Free ball opportunity now for Alta. They're going to give it back row, and the attack goes out of bounds.
Get it out.
Great rally here. The crowd, both sides, giving these players from both teams a good hand for that little rally.
Sometimes the easiest pass or ball, it can be the toughest to get in.
Yeah.
And you see that.
You're right. That's a good point. Another quick attack. That is, boy, if they could feed that to, once again, that's Caleb Puikkonen. And man, I'm thinking give him the ball.
There's some volleyball DNA in that young man.
Puikkonen as a middle. And it's hard sometimes because the middles don't always get a lot of sets if the passes aren't good. So that's a rocket also. Braxton Raven, you were talking about him a minute ago. That was a good rocket.
And it's funny being in this community for over 20 years is you get to know their parents, and I see his dad over there, EJ, who was my chiropractor for years. Love the guy, and he is loving this. Very competitive. He used to always tease me because my kids were in all these sports, and now I get to tease him. Being a dad over there.
Now, I'm thinking that was supposed to be set point, but apparently I was wrong. And now it'll be set point. 24-18. This will be the first opportunity of the
first set
varsity history, and it's served out of bounds. And is that one of the cardinal sins?
And Mr. Raven,
not necessarily.
Mr. Raven could have been been on the record book for that.
So what is that? What do? Do you just get it in on set point?
Man, you know better than me, but I would say play it safe. You got a pretty good lead, and you've been hitting the lights out. Well, that was a great dig there.
Big swing by, once again, Builder. Builder's going to get another chance here to put the set away, and he hits it in the net.
Yeah, got up a little early.
So here's the only thing I would be thinking is on that missed serve a minute ago for Wasatch, set point. Yeah, you want to keep it tough, but if the scouting had been, we knew Puikkonen was coming up to serve next, which has been their best rotation.
Exactly.
And it's like, you know what? Let's just. And there,
wow.
Over.
And that closes it out.
The overpass swing is blocked by setter Brady Hume to end the set.
And Brady's got some hops. He's a little compact built young man, and dude, he gets up. That was a great play.
Well, that will end the first set here at Wasatch High School. They win 25-20. Alta, however, did a pretty good job coming back from 8 down, taking advantage of the mistakes.
Yeah,
Wasatch.
Didn't run away with it, but it seemed like Wasatch was in control the entire set. Brent, I mean, you correct me if I'm wrong. There was some good stuff from Alta, but I felt like Wasatch kind of started out in the driver's seat and just kind of took it on home.
And I agree with what you said, Ken. Sometimes that the adrenaline of this first night, home game, first one. It's not like these guys haven't played a lot of volleyball. They've been playing a lot these last few years. Several of them played together. You're talking about a core group that have been playing club ball. And Wasatch has done a really good job of that. Duke had them playing in fall tournaments. They actually won the fall.
Really?
They won a fall tournament and back a couple of years ago, and it was actually the big final round. It was the 1A teams, which have a great league, by the way. Oh, yeah, they're these 1A private schools. They play in the fall, I believe. They used to. That used to be their main time because a lot of their kids played basketball later. So those 1A teams a little smaller, but I believe all those teams now will go into the spring varsity time as well. So a lot of great growth here. Wasatch, this is exciting to see this boys volleyball for the first time.
And if you on the back of the program here, if you made it out to the game, is the schedule. Obviously, Alta here tonight. We're at Olympus and Timpview the next 2 games, and then back here against Cedar Valley and Salem Hills. So very familiar opponents, and then we get into the Region 7, Brent, like you talked about, and there you go again. You got Maple Mountain, Park City coming to town. Now I'm just going to guess that'll
be a non-region.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that we might get the gym pretty packed for that one. Anytime we play the Miners, or the team up north, I should say.
Yeah.
We're going to get a little thing. That's actually west.
Well, and of the teams, again, 9 years ago when the league was going on, Salem Hills was one of the teams, so they've been playing around a lot. Cedar Valley was not. Spanish Fork actually came on a little bit later, and I think they had some club teams. Park City was not. We didn't see Park City, and so they've probably started in the last few years. But Maple Mountain did, and Springville did. So you're going to expect to see Salem, Maple Mountain, Springville, and Wasatch as being the most experienced.
Those teams you will see on the girls' side. I mean, so they have very good programs, very deep, and a good pool to grab from too. Utah County's always had great volleyball down there.
Starting the second set, Wasatch will serve. That's Chase Builder. This time a floater has a great little variety of things. That's a rocket out of bounds. Oh, they are going to call a touch, and I wondered that as well. That's going to be a kill for Ben Latimer, a junior for Alta.
And JJ's looking around going, who was that?
Yeah, they're both wondering. I actually thought I saw it myself.
Okay.
But not too much of an argument going on there. Alta with the first point of the second set. We'll talk about this a lot, Ken. The passing game is always critical in volleyball.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're able to pass the ball up to that front middle part of the court, not right on the net all the time, but maybe six feet off the net, right toward the middle of the court. That's usually the best opportunity for the setters to distribute to 3 hitters. See, like right there, the setter having to come clear back just kind of limits what they can do. They can't get a good set.
My daughter always would tell me, she goes, I get more enjoyment. Great kill.
That's a kill for Eggerts once again in the middle.
We haven't seen him for a little bit, but he's got some hops. But Kendall would always tell me she was outside hitter. I love to see her get kills. But she gave her the most enjoyment was a great pass. Yeah. She loved getting that, catching that serve and and giving it to the setter perfectly to set it. Everything goes together, right?
Well, and the flow of it just helps everybody. So when there's a good pass, that means the blockers on the other side, they don't know where to go. The setter can fool them a little bit. Whereas if there's a bad pass, see a pass off the net, they know it's probably coming out to the outside. That means you're going to see blockers. But still, right there, Raven getting the kill.
Puts it down.
Right now, I'm not sure if Raven has more kills or Eggerts.
Yeah, and Raven just kind of come on in the last little bit. I mean, he was kind of quiet at the first match, and he has kind of started lighting it up.
Eggerts, again, listed as an outside hitter.
Oh,
always hitting on the left. There's a big serve by Prince. Is going to be a free ball opportunity for Wasatch. And again in the middle. Oh. This time it's knocked out of bounds.
He missed. He got up so high that he kind of missed. He's looking around going, what? That had to come in.
He said that was such a perfect set.
You were still coming down.
He's thinking he hit it off of somebody's hand.
Oh, okay. I was thinking he got it in, but he was so high when he came down, he couldn't tell where it landed.
Right. So that's what Eggerts is, and so the referee now has the two line judges talking to him to maybe discuss. Are you sure you didn't see a touch? And I'm telling you, Ken, it's hard, man.
Yeah,
it goes so fast. You can see.
We call it, in football or anything else, it's a bang play, right? And man, you don't know who's touching it. But one of the things I was going to mention is being immersed in this volleyball world when my daughter got involved. Is I've always admired, especially at the high school level, is the officiating is quality. I mean, these gentlemen, these ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of time ladies, they do. I just think the margin of error is lower for them. They know the game pretty well. They talk to each other, and oftentimes you have someone running the line from a same school, right?
Right.
And they just run the court. I feel like they're very well trained.
So the ruling on the last play was out of bounds, and a big phrase in volleyball is the next serve determines if it was true or not. So since the ball went out of bounds, they say the ball never lies.
Yeah, that's funny.
There's a serve, and that time the dig is out of bounds.
Wow, great job by Raven just letting it go at the last minute, and that's so hard. Yeah, those split decisions, and when a game gets close like that, that's nerve-wracking.
That'll be an ace serve for Raven, and Raven gets the next one in as well. Alta with an opportunity. Puikkonen is blocked, but it's kept in play, and it'll be another free ball opportunity for Wasatch. This time, no one there to stop Biller, and that is all, Ken. That's created from the setter.
That's
I
agree.
Distribution right there.
I agree. And I'm surprised he could get the set. He had such a big grin on himself helping with the block on that before that I was surprised he was that ready.
Raven gets the serve in again. There's a back row attack by Alta's Latimer. This will be a back row attack for Wasatch. That's Raven. And here's a tip. You don't expect to see that from Puikkonen, but
they just
sorry, not Puikkonen, from Fisher, but Fisher did the job, got the kill. So a great attempt from Wasatch there on the dive, but it went out of bounds.
And oftentimes your hitters get a lot of the credit, but Wilton has been just a beast back there defensively for Wasatch.
Lee back to serve.
And there he goes again.
Tough floater. Wasatch gets the swing opportunity they wanted, but tough swing. I like the fact that Biller took a swing at that, though. If the set's coming for the bump set from the back row, it's hard, but I'm glad he took the swing, and that's an important skill for outside.
And you know what I used to tell Ken is you see Will just get down so low. He doesn't dive for a lot of them. He just gets his knees bent and.
This time, Billiter, great pass. Billiter's going to get the swing, takes the swing, and gets the kill.
Wow. He's starting to light it up a little bit now.
That's a tough play there. And Ken, you were talking about your daughter, as an outside. We tried to teach our outside hitters that you're only going to get, she talked about liking a perfect pass and set. You're only going to get a perfect set about 20% of the time.
She
in
knew
volleyball.
that, yeah.
And right there, Billiter showed that may not have been a perfect set, but he kind of knew what to do with it and put it away.
Yeah, she had to learn how to do that.
Great tip there by Puikkonen. Billiter again.
Great serve.
Billiter coming to life.
You know, one of the things as a fan you kind of miss, and Brent, you know this, is you see the end result, right? But you didn't see how well that the setter got underneath
Very
that
good call.
and put that across the court and put it in a position where there were less defenders, and then they put it down.
Serve again. This time another big swing is dug, and that time it's blocked. So there was the overpass opportunity for Biggs, and
he was about 2 feet over the net when he got that.
And Billiter was flying, and that's going to be considered a block on the attack from Biggs.
Yeah, this kid is so athletic. I'm just amazed at the hops these gents have.
Eggert's back to serve again. Wasatch up 9-5 here in set 2. Kind of a tough play, and those tips sometimes you can see how that can really be effective. It can just throw things off, and it did. The dig by Prince just over the net and put away.
Maybe you can speak to this. They look sharp. For the first game of the season, both teams look pretty sharp.
I think you're talking about, and there's a serve in the net by Fisher.
We haven't had a ton of that tonight, by the way, either. So,
and, you know, it's often talked about in volleyball. You know, I have people all the time tell me, can't they just get the serve in? And you know what? It's not that easy. You know, you can't have a team that has hitters like both of these teams have. You can just make it easy because they're going to shove it down your throat. There's a swing, an example right there. There's a kill for Latimer again. And Latimer didn't try to rocket that, but what did he do? He tried to just hit it off the hands of the block any way he could.
Use what was given to him. Well, you know, and I had a talk with a parent really quick for this serve, and they just talked about kids so unwilling to play a sport nowadays because the social media just sensationalize when they mess up or they listen. If you're going to play volleyball, you're going to get one shoved down your throat. You better be
eventually,
you better be able to keep your chin up and come back at them.
JJ Seri takes the hard swing.
And that went over.
They're looking for the touch, but not going to get it. Fans right here next to us calling for the tip.
And I don't know if that's complete discipline on Alta's side. It was so high they couldn't get it, but you know, because they're trying to block it.
Weekend in, tough serve.
Oh, wow.
Saved by Wilton.
This kid
Free ball opportunity for Alta. That quick set a little off the net.
Oh, that's
JJ
a great back set.
He gets the kill.
That is a fantastic. But that all starts with Wilton. Just what an amazing play to save that one and keep it in thing. Because other than that, you're done, and they've got the serve back.
You know, and also the dig. You're going to have to give credit to the Hume for the dig.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Wilton saves it. Wasatch gets a tough pass and
another
free ball. And this is where that free ball goes in, and this is where the setter can do anything they want, and that's going to be a net. Unfortunately, the set that time got a little tight.
JJ got in the net.
And even JJ couldn't reach it, and that means it's probably way tight. So.
But again, everybody, just talking about that pass, Wilton put that ball high enough where our setter, and guys, I apologize, I don't have a name, Hume could put a great set on that.
Tough pass and a free ball opportunity for Alta. Tough play.
That's smart by JJ.
Free ball for Wasatch. Perfect pass there allows the opportunity. Great
and
dig.
That'll go out.
And just out of bounds.
And, you know, not by much. That was spinning back in. I thought it was out by 5 feet and it ended up being out really of foot. Yeah, it was crazy.
Noah Boyer is the dig. Almost made the spectacular dig there. But the rocket kill is going to go down for Wasatch. And I want to say, who was that this time?
I completely don't know.
Well, it's going to be the other middle. And so I'm trying to remember. We got Eggerts and who's the other middle? I think it's Anderton. I think Anderton's going to be credited with that kill. So Wasatch up 12-10.
I think that's Raven, coach, that's in number 28. Is that who you're talking about?
Well, I think that the kill was by a middle. And that's a save. That is how it's done right there.
Yep. Wow, that's crazy.
And that's going to be, I'm not sure they're going to call that a block, but at least Raven, we're going to say he got blocked, so they're saying it was a touch. And that's a big thing. That goes in the stats, and you want those block stats, Ken.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you want a libero like Wilton that just keeps the ball alive.
Alta, however, also staying alive. They are everything to stay in this set. There's a block again. And that time a smart kill by Fisher, and it's tied at 12.
And as much as I tout Wilton, so that came off horribly. He knew it right away, shaking his head. But you see how if it doesn't start well, sometimes it doesn't end well for you.
Back to serve is Latimer. Wasatch, nice pass. And JJ Asseri taking it out from that last play. So what happened on that last play that JJ was really upset about is JJ was up all over that block from Latimer, and Latimer just tipped it to the side. And I think it really frustrated JJ. He thought he had it, but that time he took it out on it. So another kill for JJ. And back to serve is Prince.
Nice job. He's going to get an ace out of that.
An ace.
And listen, we're all subject to fatigue, as good as Wilton is, and I mean, making these great. He's subject to fatigue a little bit, and sometimes that gets you.
And that was Noah Boyer. Boyer, I feel like has just played really well so far, and tough play, and that's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to get it over that block, and just went a little bit deep because that wall was tough. They both got up over there. It looked like Eggerts and Raven.
So they're subbing out here Puikkonen, and Puikkonen going to get a rest for Alta. Back to serve now for Wasatch. Still is.
We don't have his number. Oh, number 2.
Prince.
I'm sorry. It is Prince.
And
I'm sorry.
Prince serves it out. Wasatch was on a little run there, a 4-0 run. And now Alta finds themselves down 4, 16-12.
And please pronounce that. Caleb Puikkonen? Puikkonen? People are going to kill me, but he is an athlete. Yeah, double.
So they call there a double contact, which interestingly, Ken, the NCAA has just made a new ruling that they are eliminating the double contact. And
really?
So what would happen there is they would still call something that will be a mishit ball, but they're taking away the double. and I have yet to know myself. That's a big block that time.
And that brings Alta.
Raven gets blocked.
Talk about a double a little bit, Brent. I think a lot of people don't understand that.
So the idea is setting is really tough. I mean, it's really, really hard. And there was a time that, boy, if that ball did not come out perfectly, they were going to call a double contact. So when a double contact means that if you can picture hands being together to set it, if they're off a little bit and they contact the ball kind of at different times, like a quick pat, then they're going to call that as an illegal hit. Lately, the last few years, they've really, I think, in a good way, they've loosened those rules a little bit. And I think that's in the essence of what the new NCAA ruling for women will be. I don't know if they're going to do that with men. I actually have no idea. But in either case, it's still, if they pat a lot on that set attempt, they're going to call a miss hit
ball. But they're going to lose that. Is that going to speed the game up, or are you going to see more scoring?
I think that's what they're hoping. I think they're hoping that it's such a hard judgmental factor for the referees. You can have one referee that calls it really well, maybe, but then the next two referees you get, it's like completely different.
I understand.
And it's just really hard on the referees for that. And I think that's what they've been trying to do, is teach them, train these referees, and I think this new ruling is going to help them a little bit, and I think it's going to help the game for sure.
And I think you said it best, Brent. It is such a technical sport that's not an easy thing to do. We can sit up here and go, yeah, that was a double. That is a tough thing to do.
Hard, yeah. And again, like you're saying, in the quick game that's going on, they're right now trying to get the music to stop. I'm not sure. There it goes. So Alta down now just by 1. And back serving is Noah Boyer, the libero. Boyer has a great floater, and again, trouble with that. It'll be a free ball. This is an opportunity for Alta, and yes, they're going to give it to Puikkonen, but he's blocked.
Man.
And this time a swing, and the tip is going to work again. I think you would have to put down in the scouting report that the tip might be a weakness for Wasatch at this point.
Well, and that second one, too, he took a little bit of time and took a little off of it, so he didn't hit it quick. They got up so fast, and then as they're coming down, the ball goes over, and just, again, tactics of the game.
Again, a tough serve by Boyer, another free ball. And this time the set a little tight, but Puikkonen wipes it off the block.
I want to say Prince, I think Wilton thought Prince was going to get that ball at the last minute. He let it go. And it threw Wilton off a little bit.
Checking into the game for Wasatch is Forker Fisher. Sophomore's going to come in, hope to get some passing.
We have not seen this young man yet.
And Alta with their first lead of the night. That pass might have been, or serve might have been going out, but kept alive. Set a little tight, so Alta with an opportunity.
Great save right there.
Set outside. See, they're going to call the double contact
already.
On that.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see, in fact, Ken, interestingly, this is why they changed the colors of the ball. They used to have a white volleyball.
Yeah.
And they put colors on it to help the referees a little bit to see that if it's spinning.
That is interesting.
I mean, it's not supposed to be that way all the time. But Alta now with a 2-point lead. There's
that is a hammer.
Braxton Raven.
So maybe
gets Wasatch back on track.
Maybe to assist it not being called so much, you go back to the white ball where you can't see.
Maybe, I don't know.
That is interesting.
And yet, I'm pretty sure the referee just saw that was
right.
Again, the pat, the different touch of the hands.
Well, and
even before you saw this.
Yeah, I gave him a lot of credit for being so well educated on the game, but they see a lot of this. So we look at it's almost the naked eye from up here. Man, they're point blank. They've seen so much of this. They know the spin of the ball. They know when to call it, when they don't call it. But again, it is a tough call.
It is tough. So the attack by Lee went out of bounds, but Wasatch in the net. A tough break. Alta now up 19-17.
Man, if you guys have not seen volleyball up close, these guys are amazing athletes. I'm so impressed with these, with both sides, right? But Wasatch young men for sure.
Perfect pass by Wilton. The set by Hume and the kill by Eggerts in the middle, and that's what you want to see, guys. Ken, just that quick attack really can be effective for both teams tonight.
Yes.
It's been effective. Eggerts back to serve. It's an ace.
That's awesome. Well, as I look across at these athletes, I've been flattered to interview for a coaching position on the new defensive staff.
That's what we heard. I wanted to ask you about that.
I accepted it, and I'll be coaching corners in the nickels. I got a couple kids down here I got my eyes on. And man, if you can get, they're athletic.
So the tip is, and it's taken care of. Another unfortunate overpass for Wasatch leads to the kill for Fisher. A few of those have happened. But Ken, congratulations on that.
Thank you. I don't know if
now how are you going to do that and still call the game with me?
You're going to mic me up, and you're going to hear. I'll just have to mute myself when I'm screaming. But you know what?
Wow, Fisher with a tough miss serve.
I'm trying to recruit here, but everybody I talk to is a senior. I looked at the Anderton. The young Anderton come through like, hey, 6'4", I'll take you. And he's like, I'm a senior. I'm like, gosh, dang it.
Yeah, darn.
But these kids are incredible.
Well, and, Ken, there are a lot of good athletes younger, so you'll have your pick, I think.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, congratulations. Again, that set a little tight.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, see, it's just not allowing Puikkonen or the hitters to do a lot if it's super tight. I'm not criticizing. It's just, again, setting is so hard. And another off-speed again by Latimer. Ken, you called it. He's the king of the off-speed right now. It's working for him.
Man, and he's done it a couple times, and we just get caught. The Wasps get up, and they're so high that you're just off. Your leverage is kind of thing, and that was Anderton.
So Puikanen back to serve. This has been a pretty good rotation for Alta. JJ Sari taking the rip, but just out of bounds.
Barely out.
Sari is, you're looking at him. He's a sophomore.
Yeah.
And cranking on balls like that, boy, you hear
with a broken hip.
Give him a few games to get that timing down.
And Brenda, if I notice here, this is the first time we have been down all night at 22-20. Alta.
Again, this tough pass. Oh,
wow. Yeah.
That's a little questionable. Wilton.
Yeah, it's real questionable.
He's going to call a timeout, down 23-20.
I felt like he was as square as he could have been on that one.
And again, Ken, it's that how it comes out of the hands.
Right.
And so
true.
That's how the referees are thinking of it. And sometimes, I'm going to admit it because I was a coach and I yelled at a lot of referees for a lot of years.
Right.
20 years in JC ball and 10 terrible high school years. It is hard, and it's just hard for them to be able to.
Yeah,
it's just tough. So
it's a bang play you see in the NFL, and that receiver and that DB are going for a ball in the last second on the out of bounds, and man, that's tough to call. And
it is.
There's plenty of Americans to criticize them. That's a good thing about America. We just love to criticize the officials, me included.
Well, and that's our job here as announcers, right?
I know.
Hey, we want to do a shout out, Ken. We talked to the Sari family. Mama Sari came and told us that her brother Paul will be watching this game from Germany.
That is incredible.
So we do a shout out to Paul in Germany. Thank you for joining us on Sting TV. And Wasatch, even though they're down a little bit right now, they're
Paul,
grateful for you watching.
You get your money's worth when you watch your nephew, because this kid is an incredible athlete.
Billiter's going to take the swing off the block. Wasatch with an opportunity. Billiter on the left side, soft touched, and Alta now swing from the back row. Lee, and he's blocked.
You know what? I'm so impressed with Alta how they got over, because that set was on the across the court. They got over there quickly and help take a little steam off that ball. But at the same time, I thought that was a double that they just put back in on Alta's side. I thought that was a blatant double hit, but apparently
block's going to be credited to Billiter and Anderton. Blocked out of bounds, and that's again Latimer using the block. He's not trying to rocket it; he's just hitting it off the hands.
He is,
and he can rocket it. But
here's my perspective: Alta's not as clean defensively or passing. They just have not been as clean as Wasatch. But what they have been doing is they've taken advantage of our mistakes.
This is set point for Alta. The pass is good. Here's JJ Sari.
Boy, dude. And what I love about Wilton is look how low he gets, Brent. You see sometimes and everybody's diving for it because it's low. This kid just squats down like it's nothing, and he's going to serve. He's got a hot serve.
Sari stops the bleeding for a moment. It's still set point for Alta. They have 2 set points they can play with now, and that's going to get it for
Wasatch. And you know what? Wasatch beat themselves on that, because that was not necessarily a great pass, a great set, and that was definitely not a great kill over the line. But
they got it done.
It was enough, yeah. And we're kind of beating ourselves at this point. But more than one match, in this game, and so you can, and usually you win a couple. And then you dump that third one, or whatever, best of 5.
Right.
And but I think that one right there, and I want to give credit to Alta for winning that match. But I'm telling you, I really think Wasatch beat themselves on that one.
Noah Hannon for the Hawks is going to get the credit for that last kill, and he's not the typical middle, but I think just that play, he was there, and was the one that got the quick kill down, a little slam dink, so to speak. So the Alta Hawks even this matchup at 1 set apiece.
Well, and this would not have been a runaway. I say Wasatch has been playing really well, in my opinion, better than Alta, but they've not run away from Alta. This is a very closely, they're very similar teams, I don't believe Alta is as clean, as some of the passing and the hitting, but they get it done. You love a scrappy team like that, don't you, Brent? They just find a way.
For sure.
You know what I mean? They just find a way to win.
And that's what I think you're just going to see a lot of that this year. Like I say, there's going to be a few teams that are kind of dominant, that have been powerhouses over the last 10 years and, in the Utah club sanctions and stuff. But boy, I think all in all, you're going to see 5A just very, very even. So,
Brent, I love to mall watch. I don't know if you knew that, but I catch myself mall watching here. I got a young lady down here on the Alta bench, and she's looking up at all the banners that I think a lot of times we walk in this gym and we take for granted. But she looked at those banners that are above our head right now, and as she went down them, you could see her mouth go, "Wow!" You know what I mean? And Alta's, listen, that's a storied high school that's
yes,
got a lot of state championships.
Yes, it
but
is.
This young lady looking around, I think we take that for granted. The teams that we put forth here and the coaching and just good programs here at Wasatch High, and a lot to do it with those men across the way there. Justin Kelly and Ryan Bishop and Paul Sweat and Sean Kelly before that emphasize not only being a good student, good sport, but we love our athletics in the Heber Valley.
Talking about wrestling being some of those state champions.
Yeah, there's a lot of those over there.
There's 23 state banners over there, and they got a new one this year, the girls wrestling team.
So neat.
Only in their second year of competition, one state.
Yeah.
So they were state champions.
Coach Haley,
Corona
taking that after 2 years and developing what she's done is amazing.
Yeah,
and no state champions. We take the team there, no state champion, no individual winners on that. So it was a complete team effort.
And that means, you're talking about depth and marching into set number 3 here at Wasatch High School.
My son had to wrestle Haley early in his youth, and he went out there he goes, I do not want to lose to Haley for a lot of it. But Haley was an athlete and still wrestles today.
Yeah, I was going to say, she
wrestles internationally, I believe.
Yep. Set number 3, it'll be serving, I believe, will be Alta. And back to serve for the Hawks will be Jamison Biggs. Sets 1 apiece here at Wasatch High School on inaugural boys volleyball night. All over the state, teams are playing tonight, and tough serve to start. And right off, that's going to be kept alive. Wasatch kind of looked like they thought it was over. And rocket out of bounds. See, there's right there, can show that Latimer can rocket it, but it just went long. So we have a new middle in the game for Wasatch. Starting this set number 3 is Carter Smith, a junior. He's number 18, starting at the middle. And boy, that looked like a good pass and a good opportunity, but didn't work. Raven gets the kill, but it's dug up once again by Boyer. And there's a save. Call that a pancake.
That is fantastic.
Alta again with an opportunity. Latimer gets the off speed. It's blocked. That's going to be Smith.
Who just got in. He got up high, and they're going to. That's an interesting. That's an interesting kill.
Yeah. Sorry. There you go.
So Brent, that was almost like a pass he just put over. He just pushed that over, and I guess these guys. I don't see it in the women's, but they don't get that high over the net either. So these gents have a different perspective.
It's actually something that teams work on. We did.
Yeah.
Free balls. What do you do with a free ball? How do you make it not easy on teams? And that sometimes is the thing, just to shoot it over if you're tall enough or jumping high enough.
That was impressive.
Shoot it over. Other times it's get it over to where they went. They went to the setter spot in that right back. And that is always the place that you want to make it tough on teams.
Yes.
JJ looking a little frustrated there.
Yeah.
It looked like he just got a little under it.
He sure did.
And put it in the net. And this game is tied at 2.
And again, I'm big on body language. I'm looking. JJ's got a little bit of red cheeks there. You know, I don't care how much basketball you played. This is a different movement. He's got to be a little stiff and sore right now.
Carter Smith took his first swing, but that's a kill. That's going to be a kill for the Hawks. To me, it looks like the Alta Hawks have gained a lot of confidence.
Yeah, a lot of momentum. And, you know, I've always said that this game is a game of momentum, and you get it rolling your way, and it seems like everything's going your way. But that was a kill for
Carter Fisher. That's a swing, a big swing again, gone out of bounds. Braxton Rayburn just a little
What do you do, Brent? How do you adjust that? How does he adjust that?
You know what? You tell him to keep swinging and then make little adjustments.
Always heard you say
going.
That.
And but yeah, if it's going long, that means you got to snap it down just a little bit more. JJ Sari put the tip in the middle, which is where you go. Boy, there's Lee off the hand.
He just gets up and just so technically sound. But again, not super clean by Alta, but getting it done. Up 4-2 right now.
What Alta is doing really well is they're just getting a little better pass, even on the transition balls, to their setter, and they're able to get swings. Raven.
That's a nice job
by Noah. Unfortunately, after Noah Boyer made the great dig,
Ben Latimer was heading that way and ran right into his own teammate.
Also did an open field tackle.
So
Latimer.
And he's athletic enough, folks, that he probably would have put that one back in.
He probably could have. Yeah.
Again, the momentum train can come in different ways and shifting a little Wasatch's side. So
let's give the kill to Raven on that. And Wilton back to serve.
That's
Wilton,
a great serve.
After a couple of early misses on his serves, he has had effective. This has been a good rotation for Wasatch.
Boy, he's kind of the field general back there. You know, he kind of sees the court and then gets it set up for everybody. But it's a bonus when you can come in and score some points on your serves.
Wilton to serve again. The southpaw gets it in. There's a great swing.
Set. Yeah, great set and swing.
That's Hannon again. Hannon has come on a couple of kills here. And I think he is in the game for, let's see, I'm trying to think who he's in the game for. I think Coleman Fisher's in there now. I think what they've done is they've moved Fisher. I could be wrong on this. They've moved Fisher to the outside, and now they have a different middle. So we'll have to just keep an eye on that. Or the pass kept alive there, but hit out of bounds. That probably should have been. They did make the notion there. That's back row touching it at the net. So,
and one thing I notice about after every play, and it's just some subtlety that I notice as a fan is the girls will always meet in the middle, good, bad, or indifferent, and cheer, and the boys will chest bump. They get a little more aggressive in there. That is a great swing and a great dig.
Another great dig. Great set that time. And just blocked, but out of bounds. Off of the fingers of Fisher. Well, you got to give credit to Fisher. He was then there trying to cover for the block, but it's out of bounds.
Kuikkanen is a monster. Look how big he is up front.
He is very intimidating. And Boyer, this has been one of the best rotations for Alta. Great save.
That was a great save.
That time by Hume. But right now, you got to take momentum away, and they are. So Wilton's going to call the timeout. It is 9-4. This is easily the biggest lead of the night for
Brent, how fast that happened.
Yep.
How fast that happened. I was just talking about 2-0, and then now we're 9-4. And sometimes in this game, even with momentum, this isn't like, it takes a little bit, like sometimes a 4 or 5 point lead. Yeah. Man, it takes you an entire match to dig out of that, right?
It can.
And so some that at Wasatch, if they don't get the ball rolling a little bit, they could get beat their second set.
Wilton calling the timeout definitely helps to take away the momentum a little bit. Talking a little bit about new head coach Mike Wilton. Wilton himself comes from what I was telling Ken earlier. He comes from royal family volleyball. He is his dad was for several decades a fantastic coach, a coach of the year and took his teams to University of Hawaii to the Final Four several times. A very decorated, another tough serve. Great set. Boy, that should have been left, unfortunately, to Sari. Looked like he was ready to get it. Tip Doug is up. Raven can't get it over. It's just a little in the net. And that's another tough play. Right now, Wasatch looks a little tentative on their swings.
Yeah.
And, boy, right now, though, their passing off the serve is just killing them.
Yeah, well, and, you look up the scoreboard sometimes, Brent, and you just do something a little bit different. You take you know what I mean? You're not as aggressive. That helps out.
Noah Boyer giving some mercy to the Wasps.
Yeah.
Boy, that's just, as a coach, that was one of my big things that I hated. Just, you just want to say, let's keep this going. See that you're...
Right.
It's not that you're serving aces. Right now, they're just struggling.
Yeah.
And just let them keep struggling. Boy, another athletic play by Kuikkanen.
Yeah. And he's so big. He's so big, you almost have to be perfectly timed to get that block on him.
That's just mano-a-mano.
Yes, it is.
Just, all you can do as a blocker is hope that he gets it in the direction that you're blocking, because that's a big guy. 11-5. Lee back to serve. Great pass there. Opportunity. Raven set a little tight. Raven touches, keeps it alive, and that ball attempted to put over by Hume goes in the net. Boy, right now, not many things going right for Wasatch. 12-5 is the lead for Alta. Lee, tough serve. Wow. That's going to be an ace.
Yeah, and Raven, just that came so hot, he didn't even know what to do with it.
Yeah, tough floaters. We have many times people ask me, what's tougher, the top spin jump serve or the floater? And I'm thinking the floater is always one of the most effective serves, if you do it right. Free ball, Alta, set is up, Kuikkanen.
You know what?
Rocket. Everybody in the gym knew who that was going to.
They go
blockers up.
They go middle more than anybody I've seen in this gym.
And why not, right?
Yeah, the kid is just a beast. And no answer for
blockers up. Wasatch knew they were going to give it to him.
Right.
And that right now is the tough part of, if you're not passing well, that means you're giving the other team a lot of free balls.
Well, and early in the season like this, you kind of look at the score right now, and we're getting buried. No doubt about it. This is character builder. Like, okay, what kind of character does this team have? I see some faces are a little bit long. They're looking up the scoreboard. You got to dig deep inside, and this is where early on the season. This is where you find out about your team.
Yep.
Urban Meyer used to say it. Love, hate, what. Famed Ohio State coach. He used to recruit kids and look at the film, and when he had the ball run up the sidelines, did he step out of bounds when he had 2 or 3 kids coming in, or did he put his head down and go? But, so there's something about he picks the kid that's going to put his head down and go a little bit. And right now, Wasatch has got to run through a few tackles, and take some lumps, but just stay in it and scrappy. And that's what Alta's done.
And I'm thinking, head coach Maekawa for Alta is saying, "Hey, just get the serves in,
coach." Right
now, Wasatch, and that was it. Crazy tough serve.
Another floater that just died right over there, and I'd have to agree with you. It is much harder than that ball rocketed to you.
Substitution here, not necessarily for any other reason than just trying to slow it down.
Sure.
I believe Wasatch has used both of their timeouts now, and there's everything working for Alta at the moment.
Help me on that one. Was he in the net? Did he?
No, so I'm pretty sure what he called was a lift.
Oh, okay.
So if he had his hands closed, that would have been totally legal.
But he
instead he just was surprised. He didn't know.
He was fighting for his life there.
I'm going to say that is the 4th ace serve in this rotation for Lee. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Mercifully, finally Wasatch getting a kill and stopping that run by the Hawks. 16-6. And like you said, Ken, this is the biggest hole Wasatch has seen tonight.
Yep.
Raven back to serve, trying to get Wasatch back on track. The tip that time is Doug. Billiter gets the off-speed shot. That's going to go.
Great job.
And I was going to say earlier, sorry again, I keep bumping my cameraman here, but earlier, we were talking about Wasatch having a little weakness on the tips. That has never gone down hardly on Alta. And that time it worked. So see if Wasatch can get something going here. Back row attack is going to go in the net. So Wasatch now the opportunity to take advantage of some mistakes.
And again,
from Alta.
And I'm gonna hang that on Alta. They're beating themselves right now.
Yeah.
It's it's not we're playing that much better. They're just hitting it in the net. They're not solid.
Cassie Mayakawa, the coach for Alta, making a substitution, and that's the right thing to do. You don't have to call timeout. Just slow it down. Raven doing his job, getting these serves in.
This kid,
a pancake up, kept alive, but just knocked out of bounds.
And
not by much.
Puikkonen, get it to him, and he just touched a little touch shot that goes over him. It's nice to have that advantage point, when you're up that high.
For fans watching, the volleyball net for men is at 8 feet. And, boy, that's just out of bounds. So another mistake.
That helps.
Alta letting Wasatch stay in. So, the height of the net, how much different it is, boys to girls. The girls' net is at about 7 feet 4.5 inches.
Really? I did not know that.
And the men's net is at about, it's kind of funny, it's like 7.11 and a quarter. It's like basically 8 feet. And you think that wouldn't make much difference. I mean, if you just looked and saw 6 inches, but it is a huge difference.
Again,
there's that roll shot.
Yeah,
that's
we barely get that, and like Brent said, that subtle roll shot got over the top of us, and we're not. I don't feel like we're picking up some of those balls that we dug earlier.
That kill is by Jaden Roberts. He came in just a moment ago in the sub for Alta. This was one of their best rotations. That passes up by Wilton. And
there you go. There we go. Like you said, Coach, keep swinging it, right?
Yes.
We have not seen a good clean kill like that. Keep swinging it, and he got it down. Sometimes you just got to put it on somebody, I think. Just find somebody and put it on their forehead.
There were times as a coach, sometimes you're down this much, you just tell your team, you know what, whatever we do this game, let's just get a little momentum. And that's what I want.
Dude,
boy, talking about killing momentum right there.
That young man
is Yikang Lee.
There is talent oozing from this kid. He is so explosive and quick.
And you saw he did that from the back row.
Back right too.
And now he's moved up to the front row. So
it could get a little nasty here.
Lee is the opposite, so he'll be blocking and hitting from the right side. Nice pass, JJ Siri.
There you go, JJ.
So even though Wasatch down 8, they have definitely been the ones getting
swinging,
kind of the 2 out of 3 kills, and that's what they need to get back in this game. But still, Alta in command.
Well, and even if you drop this set, what you do going into it, this momentum could carry into the next one.
And that's exactly what you want, is a little momentum. Boy, a little miscommunication on that free ball. That cannot happen. Raven kept alive by Wasatch. Boy,
that's
that almost
pure athleticism.
Again, the tip. Oh, and there's going to be a
on who
player. I definitely saw one of them in the net
just
there.
Got and it might be our young.
That might be Smith.
Our young Smith.
I didn't notice. Normally, the down ref will show the number of the player, and I didn't get to see it. So, in either case, it'll be 20-11.
Smith, the other
for Alta,
the other 6'6" player for Wasatch, so 2 biggest gents in the gym.
Another tough serve again. Boy, that's just causing Wasatch
all
sorts of trouble.
It is, and Wilton, who's going to be, he's the guy you wanted to handle it. It was just, do I let it go? Do I grab it? And
right. Ken, the women's national championship this last year, Texas had one of those matches that their serving won it for them. I mean, they served 300% more aces
we
than
saw
they
that,
had, and and that's just how it works sometimes. Right. It's just sometimes you're on, and the serving still is the #1 point scoring skill in volleyball.
I did not know that.
Back to serve is Wilton. Passed well. Alta getting a chance here. Dug up well by Billiter. And Raven's going to get the soft shot. Gets it. And there's the overpass
kill.
Got
down. Nice job, Eggerts. Well, and so let's go back to that Texas match. Part of that serving was an Akana girl. And her brother, Cecily, played here. They were here. He ended up in Sky Ridge. And now he is at the University of Texas playing football.
Really? That's interesting.
But Mrs. The Akana, the sister.
Dig by Wilton. Oh, and just a little off timing there, unfortunately. Yeah. Just a little miscommunication there and a little timing. Eggerts.
But I like how we're playing now. We're a little more aggressive. And,
you know, as much as they are getting a chance to get swings, they have still made a couple of errors. So, you know, Ken, also, here's coincidence that we were talking about the Texas women's volleyball team. The Wasatch girls, of course, as we know, another ace. Jeez, I think you're talking about almost every player on the Alta team has served an ace.
They really have.
But that, again, was Noah Boyer, who has served a few. But the Wasatch High School girls basketball team, of course, just played in the state championship.
Man, great.
And played against Bountiful. Taylor Harvey, the girl for Bountiful, she's going to Texas to play volleyball.
So. And her sister where's her sister playing? So her sister's at Nebraska, or she's in another powerhouse, but two good.
Very athletic fan.
Oh, my goodness.
Miss serve. Boyer, you know, any mistake now is allowing the other team an opportunity to gain momentum in this game. Back to serve for Wasatch is Prince.
And there's
the monster. Doug. It's kept alive. It didn't hit anything in the ceiling, so this is still alive. Billiter gets the dig up. Oh, and the set just a little tight, and it causes trouble.
Yeah.
Wasatch with the point, but you have to give. That's just good karma when you get a dig like that on somebody like Puikkonen.
Boy, yeah, and you do not see that very often, and that was Billiter, I believe.
Billiter again, yeah.
That put that back, and it had to be inches away from the top rafters.
Serve again by Prince. And boy, that time just too much Puikkonen.
And Brent, I just believe our service, you usually try to serve a weaker hitter or an area where, and they've just made everything we serve, they're putting it up, and it ends
they're
up
giving it right to the setter and just serving it on a plate. Another ace by Lee, and that's like set number 2. Wasatch loses 15-25, and
so folks,
Alta now going up 2 sets to 1,
and it's best of 5. So, you know, this is a make or break for Wasatch, and you know, often in my years watching, you'll see a team get rejuvenated, like, hey, we're not going to beat, you know, we're going to dig in and you'll see some energy that you haven't seen all night long, or maybe in the first set. There we go. That's what I expect. But so you see, you got to see what Wasatch is coming out here. And coach has stepped back, and they've got team is just sitting in there telling each other. I love this about coaching, by the way. You just got to let them sit and say, hey, figure it out, guys.
Yeah.
You know, Hayes in the barn, we used to say, the defensive scheme is put in for the week. Go do it. Go do it.
So for highlights, Wasatch came out in set 1 and, didn't really dominate. I mean, they were up by 8 at one point, ended up winning 25-20 in set 1. Alta found their stride and won a close set 2, 25-22. But here in set 3, Alta showing strength and beating Wasatch 25-15. So we will go to the all-important set number 4. Yeah. And set number 4, Ken, is they did a study clear back in the 2008 Olympics. And, you know, studies like this are mostly for interesting,
right?
You know, FYI. But the teams that won set 4 to go into a set 5, almost 70% of the time won set 5. So
interesting.
Not really, a little over 60%.
No, but that's still significant.
That's pretty, right. And you know, we used to talk about that with our teams. If we we're down 2-1. Hey, come on, let's win set 4, and that means we have momentum into set 5. So, you never know.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a little renewed energy. Our passing was a little bit crisper, and I really believe, some of our kills have not been long. They've been a little bit more precise. But man, you can't replace Puikkonen. I mean, Brant, that kid is a monster. And he comes back in, and they're going to keep setting him, and you got to have an answer for it.
Ken, looking around the state, again, a lot of games tonight. We do have 3 scores, none others from Region 7. It looks like Murray has defeated Taylorsville in 3 sets to none. The games played in Region 7, by the way, Timpview and Provo, and both of those teams have had club teams for a lot of years.
Absolutely.
And the only other ones I see, Springville looking like they're playing a non-region game at West Jordan. Roy has lost to Weber. Weber defeated them in 3 sets. And again, one of the ones I saw here was Judge Memorial dismantling East.
Wow.
In 3, 25-7 was one of the games. So it's exciting here in the state of Utah, boys volleyball.
And get it
in a new age.
I really look at the sport. I think you're going to get a lot of legs underneath this thing, and this is going to be a very popular sport to watch. Obviously, watching the BYU men's program is, if you have not watched the level they play at.
Latimer again off the hands. Wasatch with the first serve. Builder serving. Wasatch, Ken, what do they need to do here to get to set 4?
Well, spoken like a true fan, they've got to get their kills in, and it starts with that clean pass.
First pass.
And we just haven't had it for a while.
Yeah, Hulme has had. There's a great off the hands right there. We talked about that's Raven, and Hulme hasn't just been able to set in the setter spot.
And it all starts with that pass. I'm not saying that Willett's not a talent. I mean, this kid is electric to watch, but it's been a struggle. And credit to Alta's to service. And we got to have a couple more of those.
And that's what Wasatch needs. That's the first lead since, I'm going to say, set 2. Well, Wasatch, I guess they did lead in set 3 at the beginning, but just a little bit. And so Wasatch up 2-1. Wilton back to serve again. Wilton has seemed to find his stroke right now. He's not
That's a great
serving
save.
Super tough. He's just... There's the free ball pass, the opportunity. J.J. Seri
got it
in. Kill.
Nice job.
And that's a tough spot. And, boy, that's what you teach players is to hit in that cross-court deep corner.
Always heard you say that. And a lot tougher.
Hard to defend, hard to block.
Easier said than done, too, right, Brent?
No,
I mean,
so tough.
You got that big arm swing that you want from those guys.
Well, and some of the guys want to pound it straight down, which doesn't happen too often.
Got in. Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Boy, that's going to be, once again, Noah Hannon. Hannon has subbed in this game, and I'm telling you, he has done his job.
He has made a difference.
Back to serve is Latimer. Another tough serve, but this time Billiter right on target, and that's going to result in a point for Wasatch.
I didn't know which way it was going. I saw the net moving. I didn't know who hit it.
But again, Ken, it's caused by the great pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just makes the other team a little more off balance. And, it just hasn't happened enough for Wasatch. But right now, up 4-2. Back to serve is Fisher. Fisher with a tough serve. Again, handled by Boyer. Again, a dig. If it bounces off things, it's legal. And it may stay.
No,
it's stuck up on the flag.
What do you call here? What's going to happen?
That's just a replay.
That's interesting.
And the ball, there's just no way of seeing it. I don't know if our cameraman can see up there, but it is.
You can see the very top of
the flag. You can just see the tip of the ball in it. So it's a replay, so it'll just be played over.
I was going to dare somebody to come and get it, but
that's an ace serve.
And again, that's what we need. We need Alta to beat themselves a little bit. as good as they've been last few, and maybe they're playing tight a little bit.
Maybe at this point it's hard to sometimes play to win and not to lose. So tough serve that time is going to be out. That's by Fisher. 5-3 now is the set here. Sorry, is the score here in the all-important set number 4.
Young Fisher's a sophomore coming in, getting some time. So we'll give him a pass on that. He's going to make some mistakes. We just don't want to see that.
Boy, you're back to serve. Another tough serve.
And struggling on
Raven gets the swing. That's what you want. Take a swing. And that time is blocked.
Eggert's got the hops.
Fisher is blocked. You're going to give the block to, they're going to give that to Brady.
Eggert's was the way over there. I'm trying to figure out his socks he's got going on here. I don't know if that's SpongeBob or
I noticed that earlier.
the pink and light blue and whatever it is, it propels him.
So into the game to serve is Winston Smith. This is the first time we've seen him.
That's a nice little serve.
Great serve. Wilton gets the dig. Again, you can see not where you want it. It's just where those free balls are the ones that you want on. It's not really a free ball. It's a down ball. And you just want that a little closer, and it just makes things off balance enough.
Brent, does a setter have a favorite person he likes to go to?
You know what? I always said I hope not.
Yeah.
I want my setters. There's a roll shot.
That's a beautiful roll shot.
Oh, they're going to say it hit the antenna.
Oh, no.
And,
that was outside.
Both referees called it.
Yeah. So if it's outside the antenna, bad. Inside?
If it touches the antenna, it's out.
Completely. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, although many people would say the ball never lies because that was a serve. So, it looked like both line judges called that, and when they point at it and they wave the flag in the air, that means it hit the antenna. So. And no one seemed to argue after that. So Wasatch keeps their lead 7-5. And it's Eggert's back to serve. Tight pass, and that means the setter for Alta is front row. See, that even fooled me. Jamison Biggs almost made the save.
And I was gasping a little bit. I felt like Anderson kind of gave back a free ball that we could have had, and they couldn't handle it and put it in the ground.
But a rare error that time by Puikkonen, put it in the net.
Well, here he goes again.
Puikkonen's going to get it the opportunity, and he buries it. We call those crater makers.
I almost
feel like they do. They hit those.
We should give them a helmet out there.
A little bit more. Kidding. Internationally, international volleyball, they've clocked some of those attacks at 70 miles an hour.
And in a concussion era, you would think, we've seen girls get concussions.
I was just going to say, we've had
some
for half a season.
For taking a ball off the melon.
Back row attack by Raven's going to go long. Again, passing. Just the problem right now for Wasatch. Alta climbs back within 1. They are only down 7-8.
I love Raven's dad is giving him pointers as he's over there, get it down. You might know that.
Wasatch needs to win this game to extend it to, and Bitter. That's going to go for a kill. Billiter just inches it through.
Yes, he did.
He got a really, I would say that's a rare one-on-one.
Yeah.
We didn't have a great pass.
Right.
Normally, Puikkonen's over to help block with that.
I would echo that.
Wasn't.
That was such an athletic play on his part.
Back to serve.
Great serve.
Is Hume. And that's the first time we've seen that tonight. That's Jamison Biggs, the setter, doing his job. He now becomes a third hitter when he's in the front row, and you can see him smile, and he's happy that got through. And I loved my players doing that, the setters. We would try to teach them.
And if you do it too much, they're ready for it. So you got to kind of pick your time when you want to do that, right?
Ken, you asked earlier about if a setter had favorite hitters.
Yes.
And I said, I hope not. And yet, if you know a guy like Puikkonen's
absolutely.
running it,
right.
you're going to feed the dragon, and you're going to do however that works.
I had a basketball coach tell me one time, and he was telling the players he's coming down, and our best player is on the left-hand side of the floor.
Billiter gets the serve in, saved well. A free ball opportunity for Wasatch. JJ gets blocked, but it's kept alive. JJ's going to get another chance.
And he gets one down. Yeah, nice job. But my first basketball job, kid was bringing it down, and I can't remember David's name, but he high jumped 7 feet, so he can get up. He's on the left-hand side. The other kid's on the right-hand side, and he's double guarded. He still throws it to David. And Coach goes, Ken, if I'm bringing the ball down and Michael Jordan's on one side and you're on the other side, Michael's getting it no matter how many people are on it.
That's exactly right.
Go to your Jordan.
Great dig by Wasatch. That time the dump doesn't work.
And Wasatch, Mr. Raven gets it down.
Showing some metal right now.
Mr. Raven gets it down. Now I don't see his dad giving him tips now. He's pounding on the thing, but hey, things are clicking, and it's almost like, Brent, do you think at some point they're like going, we got to get these in? So a little bit extra effort here. The energy's a little better.
Coach Cassie Mayakawa for Alta can see the momentum changing, and she's going to call the timeout.
Yep.
While we're on this timeout, we also want to mention, we mentioned earlier the Sari family and Brother Paul watching in Germany. We also have Kiara, who played Wasatch volleyball and basketball here a few years back.
And
she
volleyball.
Is in, okay, her mom told me, now I've forgotten.
She's on a mission?
She's doing a student. Kiara, I'm so sorry, I can't remember where, some foreign country somewhere, and that's just how it works when you're nearly 60 years old. You forget things. So,
very
Kiara, welcome if you're watching. We miss you here, and they're happy what you're doing there. And I can't remember where she said. She told me some exotic country.
And I think Kiara came over and played volleyball and hadn't played very much and did so well for us. So well for us.
Kiara was, I believe, a freshman, maybe a sophomore. There's a block. That's going to be from the serve, causing trouble for Alta. And the block down on the overpass. Wasatch up 13-8. And I like that, how he came out of the timeout that the other team called and got to serve in.
Yep.
And kept the pressure on.
I know your pet peeves now, Brent.
Great set on the outside. Nice dig, Wilton, but unfortunately not going to work. Somebody in the net for Wasatch. And so looks like they're calling. The down referee called Jake Anderton. Anderton
and Latimer can put it down because that was not a great pass or set. And he just, that's one of the things I've noticed in volleyball. And you mentioned it earlier, is an athlete being able to take a subpar set or pass and
ram it off the hand.
Some people have to, everything's got to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
And Raven is on fire right now. So whatever his dad was teaching him, he must have listened because he's doing it phenomenally.
Alta in a pretty good rotation right now. Their setter, Biggs, has just gone back to serve, so they have 3 hitters. And one of them is Lee.
Great serve.
Again, but a great pass and another opportunity. There's that kick.
And somebody was asking about that.
Kick keeps it
alive. That is amazing.
You missed it. He did the kick.
Yes, he did.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Yeah, I did. It was fantastic. I think it's the first time
Lee tries to put it down, and Lee's in the net.
That's fantastic. And he's not made many mistakes. So, again,
really
father momentum, and everything's working, right? So, up 15-9 in the all-important, what would you call this set? I mean, win or go home.
Win or go home, that's right. That's right. Win or die. Wilton back on a roll here. This is his 4th serve. Wasatch on a 4-0 run. Lee is block.
And Eggerts again. And now JJ was in there, but I think Eggerts got that.
Eggerts and JJ will get credited with the block stats. Little substitution here. They're going to give Lee a break. And might be a good idea. Lee looks...
He's a little fatigued. So they're going to need him in the next set, right?
He'll just come back soon.
That is a quick set.
Checking in for him is Noah Hannon. Hannon came in, did a really good job. I'm sorry. I called that wrong. It's number 14, John Henry Wright. That time, unfortunately, just didn't work.
I saw it. JJ got a little excited on that, but
tried to, that's what we were talking about earlier, trying to douse it down, straight down a little too much maybe.
And Eggerts can get, I keep talking about it. Boy, he's got some hops. I thought he was as tall as JJ. He's 6'4", but his hair is 6'6".
JJ.
Oh, beautiful.
Again, you can see the great pass, what it does. Ken, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you didn't. And it was so appropriate at that time.
That wasn't an easy serve.
And JJ has been on fire. Listen, our kills have been just on point. You know, they've been accurate.
That pass by Wilton that time, textbook, collapsing to the right off a tough serve. And sometimes, that's going to be an ace.
And that's
Fisher.
That's that floater, I think, again. But you know, one of the things that you said, keep swinging it. But we've just been on point tonight, or excuse me, in this set, where everything's been on fire.
Substitution by Alta again, just to slow it down. That time a great pass. It's going to go out this time. And opportunity lost. No block up. And Fisher just, I think he was drooling. There was no block up hardly. And I've felt that many, many times.
Well, Brent, I'll let this play out.
That's a block.
Eggert again. This kid's got 5 or 6 of these.
And the timeout needed to be called here by Alta.
I was giving Dak some props earlier. I thought he was as tall as JJ, but his hair is as tall as JJ. He is 6'4", 2 inches shorter, and the little fro he's got going on there is helping him. But, man, he gets up with the pink socks. I got to get me some of those.
Daxton Eggerts with the block. And, like we were talking earlier, set 3 was everything going right for Alta and nothing going right for Wasatch. That is completely mirror image to this game.
And folks, a 10-point lead in this game can be, even if you can afford to flop a couple, and you're still gonna get this one through. Mr. Raven is over
and
here.
I was just about to say that Alta.
We're wondering, EJ Raven over here, his son must have listened to him and given him that advice because he's killing it right now.
Well, some people might call that an assault, but we're going to say that is just great, great energy.
EJ makes a living with the hands, and that's what he does. He makes your work right.
Fisher, great serve out of the timeout. Wasatch, another opportunity here. There's the call. Unfortunate call there.
I said we could flop a couple. I didn't mean that we wanted to start that out. And look at the monsters coming back in.
So, that's right. Puikkonen comes in, and this is one of their best rotations.
Yeah, it is.
Alta tonight. Noah Boyer
and Lee up front as well. Dangerous.
But Wasatch up big, 20-11. Great pass there, Billiter. And the kill
man. And Eggerts adds to his blocks to a kill.
That smile on Eggert's face.
He's fun to watch.
The middle attack hasn't been as effective as Alta tonight, but that time, textbook. Eggert's getting it down quick past the block on a great set.
Senior
by
Vincent
Hume
Smith.
And a great pass.
We saw him earlier come in just for the service, and there's a reason why.
Tough play. Puikkonen. Who do you want to bring you out of the grave? It's Puikkonen.
So tell me this,
another great pass.
How do you get around this kid?
You know what? I think at this point, what you're doing is try to make a middle go a direction that's not natural for him. So take away like that one
straight line, right?
Kind of straight, and that means you got to take that away. Tough pass. Tough serve. And it's going to make Alta get an opportunity, although they don't take advantage of that pass, but a great bump set. It's down to kill. That bump set that time by Biggs, really quality. Gave Fisher the opportunity, all he needed. Well, and I feel Fisher kept it in front of him and got it down.
I interrupt Brent so much, and people say, why don't you apologize more? But I'm telling you, even when we go away from Puikkonen, the other gentleman.
Great pass by Wilton. Eggert this time.
Yeah, you're
stop.
And he gives him a clap like, well done, young man. He's like, dude, you're
calls over to Puikkonen and says, wow, that was a nice block.
This Eggerts kid is becoming my favorite player. But what I'm saying is, Puikkonen, he's a gimme. It is the other gentlemen on the other side that are having some success. And when they're all clicking, we are hard. It's hard to beat them.
Yeah, you're right. It's like Eggerts has got energy and he's got.
Right. But when they're not going to Puikinen, we have got to take advantage of these Latimer and the other gentleman on the other side not making it or getting a block and getting it back in.
Wasatch with an opportunity to go into set 5. Puikinen. And that's just what you don't want.
Wow.
Again, another great pass.
Right.
And
Brent, can you put it deep in the corner? I mean, you got to give them credit to get it back to him in the middle. But man,
yeah,
what do you
try
do?
to that's a good point. You've tried certain serves, but try to get it over to a corner and see. To me, I would like to see if they could serve the right back, and even if it's a good and
that helps so much.
It's going to put it to set point. Sorry, I take that back. I guess that's the 23.
Yeah. But again, I mentioned it, man. We can have some flops. I didn't expect this many, but having that lead has been great for us.
23-15, and back to serve is Hume. Wasatch will have
good serve,
an overpass, an ace.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is having that cushion has benefited us because we have had some mishits and we're not quite as sharp as we have been in the first of the set.
Set point for Wasatch.
What a good serve.
Handled well. Latimer with a chance.
See, that's what I'm hoping for is you're getting
JJ Sari.
There you go. Setting Latimer, setting the number 10, and not getting as big kill as you're going to get with Puikinen, and you're taking advantage of that.
Sari, I want to see that more. I hope his season as he grows hits down the line like that. You mentioned it earlier. Cross court is great, but boy, sometimes teams can read you and start to know that that's your bread and butter. Then you got to have the other shot, and that's what he did there. So we're going to go to set 5, just what we hoped for on the first night of volleyball.
Man, and my
5-setter.
I love the fifth. I hated it when Kendall played. But I love the 5th set, and because now Brandon, explain it's shorter.
Yeah,
goes to
15.
So you got to come out firing.
That makes a huge difference. Yeah.
And another thing you said the percentage of winners who win the total match.
Well, that particular Olympics
but win that 4th set and going in.
But it's easy to see that there's momentum for the team that won set 4.
Other thing that I heard was the first one to 7. Has a higher chance of winning.
Okay, I heard that one. So we used to have a goal. We would say in the timeouts, 1st to 5, 1st to 10.
I love what you said. I love
just
that.
Try to make it a race.
Yep.
And you don't want to tell teams anything negative.
Right.
Like I'm sitting here saying a team doesn't want to get down big in set 5. You don't want to get down big.
You can't. You
never tell that to them in the timeout.
Right.
You say always have a chance. You always got a chance, no matter what. Even no matter what. If you're high, you never quit. You race to 10, no matter what the score is. And 1st to 5, 1st to 10. So can Alta finding themselves in a little difficult spot? But what do you think Coach Cassie is telling the team right now?
So the other outside hitters outside of the middle, we know the beast is going to get his, right? Those other gentlemen have to come alive. And when they're firing, and Alta's almost unstoppable. So Latimer,
they get a good pass, especially.
And I'm going to get the thing. Latimer, number 10, too. Fisher that we've seen, Coleman Fisher, they have not had a kill in a while. And you get all 3 of them on the same cylinder, they're hard to beat. So they have not had that in that last set.
So on the same side, Wasatch now, what are you telling? Are you saying serve tough or just serve it in? And what do you, that if you serve it too easy, they're going to get a good pass and a kill.
Well, and I'm going to throw this back at you, Brent, as a coach. I've talked about how do we keep it out of Puikinen's hand in the middle. Do we want to try to change what we're doing all game long and now hit the corners? Is that going to lead to more outs?
I want to make Puikinen hit across his body. So that would mean if you're looking at me and you're hitting your Puikinen, I am going to take this. There's no way you're going to hit this way.
I love it.
And make him hit across his body.
Because that's what he's
hitting to his left.
Yeah, and
that's not as strong for anybody.
I get it. So just like basketball, turning that left-handed player to use the right.
Yeah. And then fortify your defense over on that left, on that side. So you got your left back, is going to be there for a dig, but you're going to move your right back over a little bit too. So there's 2 diggers there that are
that's awesome.
Going to be there hopefully. But again, Puikkonen, where is it she's at?
Yours in Latvia.
Latvia.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I believe
Mama Sari's here,
Coach
and we
served in
I couldn't
Latvia.
remember which country.
Yeah.
She's met someone that
So she'll have someone to talk to when she gets back.
Wow, that's awesome. Kiara finally, Latvia was the country, and I wasn't even close. I was thinking
I love it.
Incheon, or I was thinking Laos or something. I couldn't
That's
remember,
awesome.
but that's awesome. So here we go. Set 5 underway.
Okay, now, and I'm looking at this. Is he going to rotate the monster and a Puikkonen? I hope I'm not offending his parents, but that's a term of endearment.
That's a very much compliment.
He's on the bench right now.
So that just in the rotation, they're giving him a break on the back row, but then he'll be in just a rotation or 2.
Yeah.
He'll be back up, and I actually like that. Give him a breather, and so when he comes in, he is fresh.
You have Lee, Latimer, and Coleman out there, all
Yeah,
big
you have
hitters.
3 hitters up, so
Yep.
you're in good shape there.
Yep.
Back to serve will be Biggs.
And I got to
Wasatch
give him
a
some credit.
little-
He's been on the court all night long, and boy, he's been really a catalyst defensively and keeping balls in play.
Yeah. I
He's
think
done well.
Wasatch maybe a little out of rotation. I think they were maybe thinking they were serving. I'm not sure. But in either case, here we go. Set 5 to 15. Great pass that time. And the set a little tight, unfortunately.
And Anderson back in. Anderson's not been in a while. A little bit.
He got a break, yeah.
Is there a little rust in that sometimes, Brent, when you come back off the bench? And
You know what? I actually like resting. But you're right. It may sometimes.
Yeah.
It might take a couple.
Everybody's
if you can
different.
get warmed up in between games a little bit, which they allow you to do. You can get a ball and you can warm up.
Okay.
It helps a little bit. Another great pass opportunity. JJ's
Atta
gonna put it down.
JJ. But JJ has been an assassin. Like everything he has hit in the last 5 or 6 have been right on the money.
And he's shaking his head a little bit. He was a little early.
Okay.
And was like hitting that on the way down. But
And they're going, wow, that went in.
that helps to have a long arm and a tall body. But
We know how accurate.
Willis, there's the ace.
Willett has been up and down from from service. We've seen some outs, and then he just drops one in.
And that's the first time I've seen Boyer hesitant on the serve receive over there. So Boyer this time
Not a good one
struggles.
there either.
Another free ball. Nice pass there. And that's Doug, but
That's a great job. I almost thought we were going to get in the net. Who's the first kill that got Doug? I didn't see that. Was that Anderson?
So it was Anderton with the kill.
Wow.
With the fantastic dig.
And JJ there
just
put it
went
down.
a little over the net. So
And again, talk about athletes. The ball's not perfectly, and JJ could get it and put it back down into play.
Lee can't do anything with that.
And really,
Little set was just a little off, a little short.
and you wouldn't see that from him. He is so technically sound and explosive.
And this is, you don't see this too often. Boyer, they're going to bring him out. He struggled with a couple passes there. And so they're going to make a sub to bring in another player to pass a little bit, give Boyer a break. Jaden Roberts actually came in last time, did a really good job. Tough serving off by Wasatch. Great swing, and that's going to be called in.
That was a touch.
And that is a great swing.
It was an in or a touch.
So that's a good call. It looked like the referee looked to the line judge who called it in.
And gave the sign.
So
I didn't see that.
No one questioned it after that. So I'm trying to think who that was. I think that was Lee. Oh,
boy.
This is something you don't want in set 5.
And I believe Latimer did that last time he served. So, yeah, I mean, again, we talked about, do you hit it hard? Do you put it in?
Right.
There was not a lot of
and I can't criticize because, a tough serve in set 5 down a little bit would really help you. So Wilton back to serve for Wasatch. Wilton has kind of done that. He's gone to, and there's a tip, but this time it's handled. Put over on 2. Opportunity for Alta.
That was
Would have been
long.
out, but that's okay. And Raven's going to tip it, and no one there.
That was seeing the court so well.
And that is right in the spot.
Nice
That's going
job.
to be a quick timeout for Alta.
Well, now you guys can put me to the test. If we would have got 7 before that, my theory is you hit 7 first, you're going to win this thing.
Okay,
But
I like that.
stranger things
I like
have happened. But definitely the momentum's on our side of the court, don't you think, Brant?
Well, momentum is a funny thing in volleyball, but it's even funnier in set 5. And so it's hard to know, and yet you're right. I mean, like we said earlier, I never would tell the players, but you don't want to get down big. And that's what Coach Cassie right now is.
Cassie's not happy.
Yeah, she's not happy, but hopefully she's telling the team, you guys have shown you have strength.
Right.
And you can come back from this 1 point at a time, take advantage of their mistakes, and you can do this.
Coach, how much did 16 on the bench not help them? And is he walking back to the bench?
So yeah, he would still be a back row player right now. So he's not.
So that's
right
just
now
part of the
factor.
rotation. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
So he will sub in here in just a minute.
Coach Cassie, I apologize.
Lee. And I get it, but there's a net call. Lee actually hit it out of bounds.
Yeah, he did. The call down here was out. And Brant, it was as close as I could. I mean, it looked like it was on the line, but
they're going to call Wasatch in the net, so that's the actual point. And, aggressive mistakes like that, I don't mind.
Right, absolutely. But Coach Cassie was not happy.
Yeah.
And for folks that are here wondering, okay, now Puikkonen is in.
Yeah, Boyer back to serve. And Boyer, look at Cassie now. Coach Cassie not happy. She says, she's probably saying, I just told you, don't miss your serves. And that's really tough.
Yeah.
It's like, and you coach, if I showed anger to the girls.
Yeah.
Boys are different, though.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Boyer struggling. And here we go. Boyer can get it in, and he does.
He saves it.
Wasatch has to take advantage. Raven! And it's down the line.
It's in.
Alta is saying out, but the line judge is saying in.
And that's a long call for him, too. He's on the other side of the court, just the way the cookie crumbles, right?
So they're not going to win any time. Boy, if there was video review, that would have been, the ball may never lie, as we say.
Wow,
So a tough time for a missed serve.
Man, you have just changed my view of this game. There is a little bit of Roots-a-Cootsa going on here.
Yeah, it's called volleyball karma, and it's tough.
And Lee
as in any sport. Lee back to serve. This has been a tough rotation for Alta.
Deadly.
Gives Wilton everything he can. So Wasatch has to do a free ball.
And there they're going to go. And
Puikkonen is touched, and that's the touch that we were talking about. Raven puts it in the net, but that is what you want. And just get the touch.
Egert's got a hand on that one.
Yep.
He has not stopped.
I think that's what he did. He took that right shot, and that's why Puikkonen, it went off the block instead of open. I think Egert's before was just taking him straight on.
Yeah.
Take him one way or the other as best you can. Boy,
I thought that was out.
But Wilton still gets the set. And Raven, little timing problem.
Good.
Causing trouble. Both teams tight right now. Pass up good. Egert's is blocked. And that's going to be a lift. They're going to call a double.
Darn it. This is a battle, ladies and gentlemen.
8-6. That is a 3-0 run by Alta to get back in this game. Set 5. Lee, tough serve. It just looks like almost each one of those could have been out of bounds.
And it is so tough at that angle.
And you know what I tell players, if you don't know, we'll try to help you. But if you don't know, go. Get it.
Right.
Do it if you don't know. And it was tough. Boy, Lee just making those looking like they're going to be right near the line.
That's skill. And Wilton trying to make a last-second call on that in a tough, tight game. And I said that earlier, man. That is a tough call to let a ball drop and go and hope it's going to be, a score for yourself. It's going to be out.
Yeah, really, really tough. One of the hardest things in volleyball is sometimes being the other passer. You're supposed to go back and help your teammate, and it is hard sometimes. Well, it's hard to be able to do that.
I'm going to go back to what you said, Brent, about the scoring, and they have crawled back into this from their serves.
Yep, you're right. And you're right. And what it does, again, you talked about it, that momentum is a weird thing,
Right.
even worse in set 5.
Yeah. Well, and I would have to venture to guess, in my opinion, Lee's probably the best server on the court today. Both teams.
That is a tough call. It might be. And yet, boy, Sun have been tough all around. But overall, I think you're right. He has been one of the toughest rotations. Another
And that's,
free
where that's
ball.
going.
Puikkonen puts it away.
You know where that's going.
And we are tied.
Wow. Well, we were the first to 7, so I've got to stick with my Wasps pulling this one out. But, man, again, Brent, Lee, his service has been deadly. Is he going to come hard or is he going to float it?
Wasatch, the game now tied. Wasatch
that just dies.
And Wasatch again, free ball.
Boy, I wish they'd get that a little bit longer.
This time the setter dump is handled. And this time
he
put
goes
away.
Eggerts.
With revenge.
Boy. And that smile, man. I love this kid. And a little bit of a flop shot. Is that what you call it?
You know what? I love... We used to call it play shots.
Okay.
And the middle's not hitting it hard. It's like they haven't pulled the arm back. They've just gone up to do almost like a slam dink.
Yeah.
And
I love that word.
Outside the swing, and that's what I would have done too. And unfortunately for Alta, that actually hit the net.
You're going to go in the middle.
And
is it out?
but they're going to call the touch.
Oh, yeah.
Touch, and that's going to tie this game again.
Well, Coach Cassie, whatever you said in that timeout has resonated, and Alta has responded.
Fisher's going to come out, not going to serve. It's going to be Higgs. Higgs did come serve earlier. He missed one. Wasatch back to pass, tied at 9. At this point, Ken, you just want to side out every time. Just keep the game going. Wilton gets the pass up. It's going to be Builder. Roll shot, no good. Dug by Wasatch. Builder's going to get another swing. Good shot down the line, but dug by Lee. Another roll shot. Wasatch with a chance to swing. I'd just like to see that ball get a little closer for Builder.
Yeah.
The set's going clear out to almost 10 feet.
Yeah, that's tough for him.
It's just hard for any outside to be able to hit it out there.
And he's trying to get an angle to get in there, and it's almost hitting right to him, isn't it?
Well, and that's the thing is Builder having to kind of roll shot it in. Oh, and a mistake.
Whoa.
This was the first lead for Alta at 10-9 in this set 5, and now it's tied again at 10.
Alta's number 4, Higgs, just rotated in.
Yeah, he went in to serve.
Goes right back to serve, and again, I'm just feel like they're a little cold there.
Eggerts.
He's not made many mistakes.
Well, and he got his first serve in. Eggerts with an easy serve. It's handled pretty good. That's going to be Latimer. It's Doug.
Boy,
it's going to be a play at the net. That time put away.
There he is.
By Biggs.
Biggs is
the setter. Biggs.
The set. He has been fantastic tonight setting the ball, but he has made some great plays serving and kind of bailing them out there at the end.
Puikkonen goes to the back row. Puikkonen got a kill, but Alta for sure back in this game with the lead 11-10, and the gym eerily quiet. Great pass by Wilton. And a little off balance, but it's kept alive. Lee from the back row.
That kid is
back row attack. It's like Lee caught a little breath, got his second wind.
And they, just like that, up to 12-10 Alta.
Wasatch needs a timeout right here. Don't let it go another point. Puikkonen's going to serve up 12-10. And he serves it. Oh, no. And, boy, that ball just off of Wilton's arms. Boy, it looked like it might have been out.
What doesn't this kid do well?
Puikkonen with the ace.
Right.
It's going to make Wasatch
right back
call
into this
a timeout.
We were in the driver's seat, and we just gave that up. So, again, character builder. What are you made out of?
Yeah.
And folks, not saying that we lose this thing, that these guys are any less, but they played their guts out. But there's just a little bit, you got to do this, that, and a little bit more to win, right? Pull out a W.
Well, opportunity, and again, 13-10 sometimes looks very, very difficult, but boy, it's amazing what one kill would do.
Right.
Or a mistake from Alta. At this point, she's telling Alta, let's get this serve in and let them crank it on us. We'll handle it.
Yeah.
Blockers just go up straight. Don't touch the net. Go up straight, take a shot, and let the defense do the work for you. Weekend going to serve.
Hannon for Alta. Latimer, Lee, Higgs, Biggs, and the big man back here. Puikkonen. He
Biggs the setter. He's
beast.
up. Tough serve. The swing opportunities in the nets.
Yeah,
Anderton, and it is match point.
That was the layup that was too wide open for that young man.
Yeah, that's a tough
He's
play.
played well tonight, though.
Because it was coming clear over from the off of the court. So match point number 1 for Alta. Puikkonen, who has been a great player.
Man, he has been.
Tough serve. Builder's going to get blocked, but it's kept alive.
Oh.
Builder's going to get another chance, and it's dug. The tip by Biggs. That's going to be a double.
Wow, that's a gift. JJ will check in, give you a little bit more firepower up front. Fisher's step out.
But Alta's still with 3 match points to give right now.
Coach, you got your 4 best hitters in for Wasatch.
Serve is tough. Alta's going to give a free ball. Wasatch gives it.
That's
put away.
Fantastic by Anderton. Come back from that little bit of slip up, dude. And he, like I said, he has played well today.
And this is a perfect called timeout, in my opinion, by Coach Cassie.
Man, what a game
for Alta. So again, putting the pressure on Wasatch to come out of the timeout and have to serve in.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's telling them that right now. They have to serve it in.
Yep.
And so let's just use it. Don't try to be over perfect. Just do what you can and make it win.
So Brent, from the outside, from the fan point, Puikkonen has dominated up front. He goes back to the service and does equally as well. I mean, the kid's powerful, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every ball he hits has just got a certain spin on it that we have just had trouble with. But kudos coming back a little bit. We're not rolling over and dying. Like I said, showing some character.
International men's volleyball has taken on kind of a new persona in stats. They wanted to maybe help people who don't watch very much, and they want to give players points. So they give them points for kills, blocks, and serves.
That's interesting. Yeah,
and
why not?
So here we go. Wasatch down 12-14. Match point. The serve is out. And that is the match.
Boy, a lot on him, and you don't hang that on him.
No,
he has played fantastic. Brody Hume is playing fantastic, and that's a tough spot to be in. So kudos to both team. Boy, man, you could have asked more action. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why are you not here? Boy, I'm just going to say it. I think fans missed out on 2023-24 girls basketball by not being here. But they sure showed up in droves at the state championship game.
They did. Yeah.
And don't miss them here. And don't miss this game. This is exciting. And I hope they don't hang their head because there's a lot to build on right there.
The Alta Hawks get the win on the road in the first high school boys volleyball match for both of these teams in the state of Utah varsity program. And, boy, they are happy. It's like they just won the state championship down there. They are thrilled. Wasatch, on the other hand, did a great job to bring it back all the way down from a tough set 3. They were down 2-1 and win set 4. Are we still on? Okay.
She's pushing us. The director is getting.
That's all right.
She's like, get out of here. Yeah,
she wants to go down with her boyfriend.
Player of the game. Hey, listen, we know Alta. Puikkonen, dude, that kid is a monster. Wasatch, player of the game. If you had to name one kid.
I'm going to say, it just comes in droves. And just unfortunately, that was one of the problems is no one was as consistent as you want to be.
Sure.
However, I'm going to probably go with Braxton Raven.
Okay.
And although I got to give a lot of props to their middles, to Eggerts.
Yeah.
And, I think it's tough for middles because, again, if you're not passing well, you don't get many sets as a middle hitter.
I'm with you.
But overall there. So, a lot of great possibilities, great things looking forward to this Wasatch team. What about you, Ken?
No, I'm going to concur. I think Raven was when he was on, he was deadly and did a lot more for us. But Eggert's close second. JJ Siri.
Boy, let's get him the ball a little bit more.
There.
And that's hard. It's hard to again, if you're not passing great, it's hard to get that set
100%
over to the right side.
100%.
And so you remember it would be comparable to when I was coaching here at Wasatch. Tori Dorius.
Yeah.
We always struggled where to put her. We got to get her the ball. If we get her over on the right, you can't get it to her as much as you would like to.
Right.
If you get it to her on the left, you're going to get it to her a lot.
Yeah.
But that's just a hard thing. Over on the right, it's a big block. Anyway, Wasatch.
Director Mahoney is pushing us out here. She's awesome.
That's all right. All right, final score. Wasatch loses in 5, 2-3. Alta with the big win on the road, as we mentioned. Wasatch will be back in action here in just a couple of weeks at home. They will go on the road next week, as Ken mentioned. Yep. They will be on the road, and again, if you're, we'll have to get those graphics maybe someday for the schedule, but they will be on the road for their first region match next Thursday, March 14th.
That's going to be exciting.
At Timpview. So they will start region play.
Don't miss these boys. This is exciting. This is an exciting sport. So,
Wasatch. And as in every other sport, Region 7 is going to be tough again. It's going to be that way. So
it's fun to watch. Thanks for letting me do it with you, Brent.
Thank you, Ken. The next home match here at Wasatch will be March 19th when Cedar Valley comes to town. So for all of us here at Sting TV, thank you for joining us. See you next time.
Bye.